Hello everyone, welcome back to Virtual Worm tutorial number 10. This is Chris Grove. I'm just going to cover a few basics about the layering system in Blender and how I've arranged the C. elegans cell objects across the different layers. So as we've talked about before already, there are 4 basic panels in the default scene that we open up the Virtual Worm file. We should see, as I've pointed out before, a list of cells, a list of groups of tissues and anatomically grouped objects and cells, a panel of function buttons, and then the 3D viewport window. What I'd like to do now is actually pull up the layers buttons, and so each of these windows actually has a header, just like this one up here, but I've hidden them for simplicity. And just not to get distracted. And so what I'd like to do now is actually pull up the header for the 3D view window. The way we do this is actually take your cursor and bring it down towards the bottom of the 3D view window until it turns into a hand or a set of arrows. And then I want you to right click and then select Add Header. When we select Add Header, we see a series of different options, buttons and so forth that pop up. The only things I want to focus on for the moment are these buttons right here, this series of 20 buttons, some of which are dark gray and some of which are light gray. These are the layer buttons, and essentially if it's dark gray it means it's selected and therefore you're able to view. If we hover over we see that it says toggles layer visibility. Another way to get to these is by using the number keys if you do not have emulate numpad selected. Therefore, if you can of course also just left click on these individual layers. Before we continue, I just want to do one thing. I want to select all the tissues and all the cells, and by pressing A in the 3D view window, and then I want to click on opaque in the function window and then deselect all. This will make everything opaque and easier to see when we go through the different layers. Now I just want to go through the different layers one at a time. I'll just point out here that if you're going to use your, if you have a numpad and therefore have not selected emulate numpad in the user preferences, and you'd like to use your number keys at the top of your keyboard, you can go ahead and do that now. And if you press 1, you'll see that it just selects the first layer. So this is layer number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then up to 20. And so I've only actually put C. elegans cells on layers 1 through 15. And now I just want to go systematically through and show you which layers have which cell types. So the first layer is just hypodermis and epidermal related cells, including the seam cells, the hype cells, and the cuticle. The second layer, which is this button right here, has the pharynx and all of its related cells, including pharyngeal muscle, marginal cells, the arcade cells, and pharyngeal epithelium. Not the pharyngeal neurons though, however, that's on a separate layer. The third layer, we have the body wall muscles. The fourth layer, we have the reproductive system. The fifth layer, we have the intestine and related valves at the anterior and posterior of the intestine. And then I'm going to skip up to layer 11, actually, right here. And we have interneurons, colored red, motor neurons in purple, in layer 12. Layer 13, we've got sensory neurons. Layer 14, we have sheath cells, socket cells, and then we have neuronal support sheath cells on layer 15. We've got polymodal neurons or neurons of unknown function on layer 6. These are also polymodal neurons, I think, on layer 7. We have GLR cells on layer 8. The excretory system on layer 9, and the intestinal muscle, rectal glands, sphincter, and anal depressor muscle on layer 10. Okay, that's it for this tutorial. I'll see you next time.